Hi friends, let's talk about the top 10 best foods to lower your cholesterol. And you're going to be surprised at how well this can work if you also avoid foods that elevate your cholesterol. And maybe if you don't have underlying heart disease, your doctor will feel comfortable enough to take you off your cholesterol medications one day. Number 10 is a Brazil nut. Just 4 Brazil nuts can lower LDL cholesterol within 9 hours of eating it. Unbelievably, when people had their cholesterol checked 1 month later, their cholesterol was still down. And they only ate 4 Brazil nuts. Now, if you eat 4 Brazil nuts daily, you would probably get a toxic load of selenium, as Brazil nuts contain the highest amount of selenium than any other food. However, if you only ate 4 Brazil nuts in a month, you're probably not going to have that problem. Number 9 is kale juice. Just 150 milliliters of kale juice over 3 weeks reduce LDL cholesterol by a significant amount. However, if you smoke, you will unlikely see this benefit. Kale is by far my favorite vegetable. My youngest kid won't drink kale juice. So instead, I just blend dinosaur kale with some berries to help them get that kale in. The fiber is actually quite tough. And fiber-rich foods are tough for a reason. They help reduce the absorption of cholesterol in food, since fiber acts as a barrier. Fiber also binds to bile acids, which are literally made of cholesterol. Soluble fiber is especially important in reducing LDL cholesterol, since it will make a gel, and that eventually will go down the toilet so that the bile acids and cholesterol are pooped out. And that is why it's important to eat beans. Number 8. Black beans are high in soluble fiber, more so than white navy beans. But the navy beans are high in total fiber. Now, total fiber is both soluble and insoluble fiber. Soluble fiber is that haziness that you see in the water after you soak some beans. Insoluble fiber is like the paper. It keeps its shape when you soak it in water. Black beans also have pigments called polyphenols that further protects your blood vessels from the harmful effects of inflammation caused by saturated fat. Number 7 is a lima bean, which has almost as much fiber as a black bean. Remember to soak your beans overnight. Throw away that water and then thoroughly cook your beans until soft with new water. Yes, you will lose some nutrients, but you're soaking the beans to remove phytic acid. Phytic acid is also known as inositol hexakinase, which is believed to be a powerful DNA protective and anti-cancer molecule, and it also helps to prevent kidney stones by inhibiting calcium crystal buildup. So why are we trying to get rid of it? Well, you don't have the enzymes to break it down. And when it passes through your gut, it actually binds to iron, to zinc, and calcium, and it prevents the absorption of those minerals from the foods that you eat. This is actually good if you're overeating iron. But people who tend to eat more beans in America are basically vegetarians and vegans who actually need to be more mindful of getting enough iron and zinc in their foods. Now, the good news is some bacteria can digest that phytic acid. I like to throw spices with my beans in an Instant Pot, which is really a pressure cooker. I usually add bay leaves, cumin, garlic, onion, turmeric, tomatoes, jalapeno peppers, coriander, and really whatever else I can find in my spice bar. If you want your beans to be creamy, you can blend it a bit and release some of that soluble fiber after you've cooked it, and it'll give your bean soup a starchy, creamy texture. Number 6 is to add fresh fruit to your diet every day. Now, despite fruit having fructose, it's been shown for decades that a diet rich in fruit helps to lower weight, blood pressure, and it doesn't elevate your triglyceride, unlike eating foods with high fructose syrup or table sugar. And in this study, participants actually ate 2,134 grams of sweet fruit a day, which translates to about 27 servings of fruit if a serving is 80 grams of fruit. They ate fruit spread out for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and not only did they not increase their triglycerides or weight or blood pressure, they actually lowered their LDL cholesterol by 38 points. Fruits are high in a special soluble fiber called pectin. It's the same ingredient that people use as a thickener for cooking and baking. However, pectin in excess has side effects, and if you're using pectin and then adding sugar to make jams, then you will have even more metabolic side effects. By the way, those people who ate that much fruit, they had epic bowel movements, more than people who ate mostly vegetables and starches. That is one way to lose cholesterol. Now, I personally wouldn't eat that much fruit, as there would be little room to get other nutritious foods in. Diversity is the key to health. Number 5 is to add oats to your diet. Oats have been shown to lower cholesterol, lower weight, and lower blood sugar. So some people, they don't like oats because it's slimy. That sliminess is soluble fiber. So now you know why oats are so good for you. And if you're after the fiber, go eat oat groats. If you're wondering what to make that oat taste better, how about apples? Number 4, I eat apples daily. And this study showed that women who ate 2 dried apple rings a day lowered their LDL cholesterol particles, lost weight, reduced their triglycerides, and lowered an inflammatory marker called CRP, C-reactive protein. Imagine the power of a fresh apple, because the fresh one is packed with water, phytonutrients, and 2 powerful antioxidants called quercetin and vitamin C. Both are important to have good blood pressure and good blood sugar levels. Apples are one of my all-time favorite fruits. My mom would bring me grapefruit-sized Fuji apples when I was in college, and I would munch on them in class, really to help me stay awake. Now, number 3 is to add citrus fruits to lower your LDL cholesterol. Even orange juice can lower cholesterol. However, I really don't recommend drinking juice, as it is so easy to overconsume those calories. And it also contributes to insulin peaks and troughs, which will just make you crave for more sugar. Instead, chew whole oranges and tangerines to get the water and the fiber and all the phytonutrients, the original structure that really prevents the rapid release of those sugars. Now, number 2 is to swap your refined flour foods to whole grains like whole wheat or whole barley or whole oat. Just by switching your white to wheat bread, you will improve your metabolism and reduce your cholesterol. Imagine what would happen if you actually didn't grind up that grain and ate it whole. Now, you may be on a grain-free diet. I'm just saying there are nutrients that are unique to grains, including soluble fiber and phytonutrients attached to those fibers that are beneficial for your health. And if you don't eat the grains, you're not going to be getting them. And if you're eating the wrong grains, like the refined grains, you're not getting them either. You're really both missing out. Number 1 is a fruit that has been shown to protect the eye, especially the back of the eye, the macula, which is critical to allow you to focus on an object. This fruit is Golgi Berry, and it's traditionally been used in Asia in soups and herbal teas. Now, in this study, 2 tablespoons eaten for 9 days increased a pigment called zeaxanthin in the macula. And as a bonus, in 45 days, you may drop some abdominal fat, your LDL cholesterol, and triglycerides, as seen in this study. Berries are some of the most powerful foods on the planet. And if you want to learn more about berries, watch the next video.